everybody, Brenna Red Beast from the Conquer the Gauntlet Pro team here in Lebanon at Hannibal Race, representing Conquer the Gauntlet Strength and Speed, showing you some obstacle techniques. You might think it's completely different here, but they have basically the same obstacles that we have, just in different variations. So we're at your traverse wall. They can vary in direction and the way they actually have you traverse, but it's kind of the same technique no matter what. So this one is straight beams across for your handholds and footholds. Some of them, when you get to it, it'll be like slanted, so it's actually a lift. This is flat across, there's no like actual thing to pull on, so a little bit harder. And then you got your footstep here. So basically, you want to come up to it, approach the obstacle. Keep in mind later in the day, depending on what wave you're running, there will be mud caked on. Sometimes it's going to be wet and slippery. Right now the sun has dried this out a little bit, so that helps, but get the basic technique down and you'll be able to conquer it no matter what. So you want to get up to it. Some people are dominant in which way they go. Try to get good at practicing both ways, so when you get up to an obstacle, you don't really have to be like, oh, I have to be on that lane. Get up here. So you want to get your good hand grip. Some people do this where their thumbs are kind of free or just floating right here. I prefer to have my thumbs underneath, locked underneath, because that gives me just one more pressure point, one more grip that I'm holding on with. So I'm squeezing down, squeezing up, got my arms locked in. The feet and hips are really important in this one because, again, while you're doing this, you just have your toes and you're going to slip and slide, especially if it's muddy, depending on what shoes also. So your arms are locked in. You want to make sure, kind of go like ballerina stance or bow-legged, and turn your feet out. You want to keep your hips very close to the wall because it helps when your hips are in, you're pulling on it rather than like if you stick out like this. Again, it just makes your body, you're leaning, hands slip a lot easier if you're doing that. Hips are in, I can actually pull down on this. So once you get your hips and feet set, then you're just going to shimmy, hand, hand. You don't want to let go with both hands because then you're going to fall. Also the feet, you can do it a couple different ways. You can step as you go, hands and feet. But if you're not too secure on your feet, or if you want to make sure they stay, just slide and don't lift your feet. You know, they're like sticking on there, you're not missing spots. But some traverse walls have gaps, so you have to get comfortable with being able to lift your feet a little bit. Hands are locked in, got my hips in, feet turned out, get across, keep that bell in sight, but just make sure you're focusing on the hands, because again, if your feet slip and your hands are locked, then you're still there, you're not going to drop and fall. Get over here, when you feel comfortable that you can reach the bell securely, that signifies that you've completed the obstacle. There's ways to practice. I mean, most people don't have a traverse wall at home to get on. So at the gym, instead of using a monkey bar, you want to find anything that's got like a square frame to it, whether it be your squat rack, Smith machine, or say you're not at a gym, just look for a 2x4, whether it's on your porch hang or something. Do pull-ups that way because it's going to get your hand used to that position rather than monkey bars. You know, you can almost grip all the way around, so you have to just get used to that. A little bit different, but that's how you're going to conquer the traverse wall.